Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ebony. I am a spiritual life coach and human design reader, and today we are going to be talking about projectors. We're going to be diving into some of the things that I see from my projector clients that keep them from getting into alignment and really just embracing who they are as projectors. So if you are interested in seeing more human design videos, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe because more of them are coming. Okay, let's dive in. So the first thing that I see for projectors that are not the best thing is trying to initiate things. As a projector, you have a penetrating aura, which means you see people very clearly, usually a lot clearer than they see themselves. You know exactly what they need to do in order to get themselves back on track. Like if they're in a situation and they're like, oh, you know, this is happening and this is happening and da, 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 you're like, they should probably do this, or they should probably do that, or they should probably do this. You can see that so clearly, and your gut reaction is to then tell them, hey, you know, if you did this, this, and this, then, you know, the situation would resolve itself. And that's great, because what you're saying is probably true. However, if you volunteer that information, if you volunteer your wisdom without first ensuring that they are open to receiving it, it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well. Because being seen that clearly by someone else can be very, very jarring for someone who is not open to it. So if you jump the gun and you decide to give your wisdom to this person who has not first energetically asked you for it, it's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be great. They're not gonna be able to receive it, and they'll probably be like, oh, you know, you're just being a know-it-all, or you're being bossy, or all this. And you're like, no, I was just trying to help you get your life together. Sorry. It's not your fault. It's also not their fault. They were not open to being seen that clearly, and you kind of like, you busted through their wall and they weren't prepared. So make sure that before you give out your wisdom and you give out your advice, that they are ready to receive it. So disrespectful. They're working on the bathroom right now, but like, why y'all didn't want to do the drilling when I wasn't on camera? Like, that don't make no dang sense. I hate it here. The second thing that I see from projectors is trying to work all the time, like constantly trying to go. You need to stop doing that. You need to stop doing that. With love, you need to stop doing that. You are not like generators or even manifesting generators. You are not an energy being. You cannot keep up with them in terms of energy. You just can't. You don't have a defined sacral center. You don't have the energy to be going non-stop the way that a generator or even a manifesting generator will be able to do. And you're not meant to. You are actually meant to work in a very efficient way. So you really would only have to work about 2 to 4 hours. 2 to 4 hours is usually the maximum amount of time as a projector that you have to give every day. And because you work so efficiently, because you're designed to be able to tweak things and to tweak systems, and because you're meant to be a guide, you don't need to work 8-hour, 12-hour days. It's just not something that you need to do because of the way that you're designed. You're meant to be a guide. You are meant to be efficient. What would take a generator or a manifesting generator 8 hours to do would probably only take you 4 hours to do. So you don't need all that extra energy because you have no use for it. What would you need all that energy for? Because you work so efficiently, 2 to 4 hours, and you're good. You are gravy. So you need to allow yourself to rest. You need to allow yourself to recharge, and you need to be okay with not having all the energy of a generator or a manifesting generator. Give yourself permission to rest. Give yourself permission to recharge. Give yourself permission to just chill when you need to just chill. Like that's it might be hard to hear, because as a society we're like, oh, the harder you work, the more successful you'll be. No. For you as a projector, that is untrue. That is an untruth. So stop working yourself into the ground. Stop working yourself into the ground. It's not the way you're meant to work. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I see specifically for projectors is looking for external validation. And this usually comes in the form of people wanting to take your advice, or people asking you for advice or for wisdom or for help. And the reason that this is a dangerous thing to fall into as a projector is because sometimes you can start to measure your sense of self-worth based on how others validate your wisdom or your advice. And for you as a projector, this is backwards. The more that you validate yourself, the more that you see yourself as knowledgeable and as valuable, the more that you will attract people who need your knowledge. The more you will attract people who want to take your advice and who actually need that advice. But you can't go from outside in. Like, you can't constantly give and give and give and then be like, oh, because I'm doing all of this, now I feel worthy. No. The worthiness, the validation has to come from you first. And that will then bring people to you. So the thing that I love to recommend for projectors specifically is starting a self-value practice. Every day, tell yourself the things that you are knowledgeable in, the things that make you valuable. Using affirmations, whatever it is that you need to do to start valuing yourself and seeing yourself as knowledgeable, that's what you need to do as a projector, because that is what's going to attract to you the people that need you the most, is by seeing yourself as a knowledgeable and valuable resource for those people, if that makes sense. And also at the same time, taking conscious time every day to hone your zone of genius, the things that you are naturally good at, taking time every day and just, working on them, learning, working on your skills, whatever that looks like for you. Focus on those things every day. It doesn't have to be like, hours and hours on end, but taking conscious time every day and just honing that knowledge and honing those skills will go a long way for helping you self-validate. So that was 3. And the last thing that I see for projectors, which can be so damaging, and a lot of the time this can happen as children, is seeing yourself as lazy or unmotivated. Like I mentioned before, you are not an energy being. You don't have that defined sacral center. So you are not always going to have a whole lot of energy to do things. Which is fine, because most of the time you don't need all that extra energy because you're so efficient. But you can fall into the trap of feeling like, oh, I'm lazy or I'm unmotivated. Like I this person is going out and they're doing all this and this person is doing all this and I just feel like I can't. Like I feel like I don't have it. You don't have it, but you also don't need it. You are efficient. You don't need to work as long or as hard as other energy types because you work in a way that is more efficient than probably everyone else is. Another thing is that you're meant to be a guide. You're not necessarily meant to be doing all of the things anyway. You're meant to be guiding other people to do all of the things, Maybe you don't start your own business. Maybe you are a consultant for other people who have their own business. Find ways of being in the guiding position rather than in the doing position. And that's going to be a lot better suited towards your specific talents, because you won't need to work as much, because you're there to guide. You are there to literally just kind of like give other people, you know, the push and the information that they need to go do the things. But you yourself are not meant to do the things. You don't need to. You're the efficient one. You are the guide. And, you know, everyone else is just kind of meant to do. And that's okay. But you have to understand that doesn't make you lazy, and it doesn't make you unmotivated. It makes you efficient, and it makes you a guide. And it means that you have to give yourself permission to be what you are, and not look at, you know, society's standards or what everyone else is doing in order to feel like you're doing things right. There's nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with you at all. You just have to embrace who you are and what you're meant to be doing. And sometimes that means not doing and just guiding. It is what it is. They don't want me to be great. Anyway, that was it. That's what I see most projectors doing. That is pushing them out of alignment. That's seeing themselves as lazy or unmotivated, looking for external validation, trying to work all the time, and trying to initiate things. Stop. Stop. And it literally, when you start to decondition all of these things really just start to flow. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more of my videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.